Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6.
And thanks for being with us here this evening. I'm Jordan Smith. A SWAT standoff near North Monroe Street in West Mansfield is now over. Earlier this afternoon, SWAT and police presence kept residents of the Mark apartments from their homes and closed down the block. The roads are back open and those tenants now able to return to their apartments. We'll keep you updated as we learn more information about this incident. Late this afternoon, several flights were diverted away from the Spokane airport because of a disabled plane on one of the runways. We learned tonight that a plane that had landed at the airport had a flat tire, and that forced the runways to shut down. We're told that the pilot was the only person on board that plane when it landed. After about 30 minutes, that aircraft was safely towed away and the runways reopened. One of the planes that was diverted away to Moses Lake is now back en route to land at Spokane's airport. It was another chilly day here in the inland Northwest. Wednesday's snow flurries are all gone, but we're all wondering when they might come back. Meteorologist Matt Gray is here with this week's frosty forecast.
And it is certainly going to be a frosty start to our week after a pretty cold weekend for late October around the inland Northwest. We're sitting at 38 right now with a beautiful sunset here as we look from downtown Spokane across to the courthouse and farther beyond from our camera here at 500 West Boone Avenue. So for tonight, another cold one as we get down into the low 20s. We'll see a few spots get down to the upper teens, and it's going to be another frosty start to your Monday, as we will stay in the 20s for a good period of the early morning hours. So do keep that in mind. If you were able to stay inside this weekend, you're probably going to need some extra layers as you start off heading back to work and heading back to school. Here's some places that will hit the teens, places like around Colville, other parts of Northeast Washington. Some of those more secluded valleys in the North Idaho Panhandle will drop into the teens. We'll see 20s in places like Sandpoint and Bonners Ferry, low 20s as well in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, and we'll be very close to 20 degrees around Pullman, which just set a record when we hit 17 on Saturday morning. So it has been a cold few nights, but things are coming to an end in that part of the equation. As we head into Halloween, we'll begin a warming trend, and in fact, we'll actually start to feel a little bit of that extra warmth coming up on Monday afternoon. All of this, though, leads up to a much bigger change when rain, not snow, returns to the inland Northwest later on this week. We'll show you that timeline in a little bit more detail coming up.
All right, Matt, we are looking forward to it. Thank you. This Halloween, in addition to staying warm, it's important to act with caution on the road. Halloween is the deadliest day of the year for child pedestrians. Our Allison Martinez has this story.
In just a few days, neighborhoods like this will be filled with kids running around in Halloween costumes, collecting all the candy they can carry. This Halloween, it's important that you drive with caution and be aware for those who aren't. If you ask any kid their favorite part of Halloween, most will say,
trick or treat. Yeah.
The Spokane Police Department is encouraging families to make safety a priority during celebrations. On average, kids are twice as likely to get hit by a car on Halloween compared to any other day of the year. This is according to Safe Kids Worldwide. Kids ages 12 to 15 are at an even greater risk. Why is that? Because this age group is often trick-or-treating without adult supervision.
I guess that's scary because the kids are excited and running to get to the next house because they want more candy and probably aren't, paying as much attention or listening as well because of that.
To stay safe this spooky season, the Spokane Police Department encourages families to stay on sidewalks and consider light-up gear that could increase your visibility around your neighborhood. For parents, this means handheld flashlights, and for kids, this means flashing bracelets, stickers, and more. When choosing where to trick-or-treat, stick to familiar, well-lit neighborhoods. The only thing scarier than ghosts and goblins is getting hurt when enjoying Halloween. For more Halloween safety tips, you can visit our website, kxly.com. Reporting in Spokane, Allison Martinez, 4 News Now.
Some great reminders, Allison. Thank you for that. Happening tomorrow, a Washington State flag-raising ceremony will take place tomorrow morning at the Spokane City Hall to celebrate the annual Cougs First event. Cougs First is a business network that encourages Washington State alumni to seek out fellow Cougs when hiring and promoting their business. This event will take place in the Spokane Convention Center on Wednesday, November 1st from 3 to 7:30 p.m. The flag raising and networking events are free, but guests should pre-register for Cougs First. More information can be found on our website as well as cougsfirst.com. Well, Election Day is right around the corner, and 4 News Now wants to make sure that you know where to drop off your ballots before November 7th. There are many locations where you can cast your ballot. If you live near Spokane, you can turn in the ballot at the elections office and the Spokane Transit Authority Center Plaza. Several local libraries are also possible ballot drop sites. For a full list of locations that span downtown Spokane to Airway Heights, check out our website, kxly.com. Well, a major announcement from former Vice President Mike Pence last night. He's no longer running in the 2024 presidential election. ABC's Deputy Political Director Avery Harper has more.
So after much prayer and deliberation, I have decided to suspend my campaign for president effective today.
Vice President Mike Pence suspending his campaign during remarks at a gathering of the Republican Jewish Coalition in Las Vegas. Pence, the highest profile candidate to exit the race so far, telling attendees he's leaving with no regrets.
I will never leave the fight for conservative values.
Without him, there are 9 Republicans vying to become the GOP's presidential nominee, some offering kind words for the former VP, like former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley.
He has fought for America, and he has fought for Israel, and we all owe him a debt of gratitude.
Former President Donald Trump later took the stage at another event, saying the former vice president should once again endorse him.
He should endorse me. You know why? Because I had a great, successful presidency, and he was the vice president.
Coming up here after the break, why Washington State Police believe that the driver responsible for a deadly car crash in Bellevue has fled to China. Plus, this week's Air 4 Adventure shows us the shores of Lake Oreille. You won't want to miss it.
And another cold one tonight, taking a closer look at the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene metro region. We'll be down into the teens in places like Deer Park, Spirit Lake, and Meade tonight. We'll be pretty close in other parts of the area. Hey, this is going to be our last really chilly night. We start an upward trend, especially with our overnight temperatures in the days to come, with some rain in your first alert forecast coming up.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY+.
4 News Now is brought to you by BECU, not-for-profit, all for Spokane.
If something's missing in your morning without a McDonald's breakfast, then try a new bagel sandwich. With fluffy egg, melty cheese, and your choice of a steak patty with grilled onion or bacon or sausage, well, those will fill the void deliciously. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Andy's Heating, Cooling, Electrical guarantees to keep your home safe and warm. Your comfort is Andy's priority. Get ready for the cold with a high-efficiency furnace from Carrier and turn to the experts. Andy's offers a wide range of top-quality heating systems that are both reliable and environmentally friendly. Andy's team of experts are highly trained and experienced, so you can trust Andy's to diagnose and fix any issue efficiently. Andy's Heating, Cooling, Electrical, your trusted Carrier experts since 1972.
My late father-in-law lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had AMD. I didn't know it then, but it can progress to GA, an advanced form of the disease. His struggle with vision loss from AMD made me want to help you see warning signs of GA, like straight lines that seem wavy, blurry or missing visual spots that make it hard to see faces, like this one, or trouble with low light. That makes driving at night a real challenge. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. GA is irreversible. It's important to catch it early. Talk to your eye doctor about GA and learn more at gawon'twait.com.
If you want to lower stroke risk from AFib, not caused by a heart valve problem, there's a better treatment than warfarin. Eliquis. Eliquis reduces stroke risk and has less major bleeding.
Don't stop taking Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve or abnormal bleeding. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. Get help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take certain medicines. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures.
the #1 cardiologist-prescribed blood thinner. Ask your doctor about Eliquis.
I think they like each other.
I'm Charles. Lunch?
Vanessa, I like lunch.
Give in to deliciousness. Buy one craveable classic and get another one for $1. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
4 News Now is brought to you by Curing Spokane.
Well, my heater's been working overtime. I'm sure yours has as well over the past few days. Things are about to flip the other direction here, though, as we are actually going to see in the mornings above normal temperatures before too long, upper 30s and low 40s, and that'll begin Wednesday night and will interrupt our streak of freezing temperatures after we waited so long for our first freeze of the fall season. So one more night where it's definitely going to be pretty chilly, but middle and upper 20s as we head into Monday night. And by the time we are out trick-or-treat time, things are going to be looking a lot better, as our lows will only be around 30 degrees Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. The reason why? Well, as we often see during these types of warming trends, we've got lots of activity, storm activity in these purple and blue colors in the Gulf of Alaska. We've got high pressure generally downstream of that over the west coast. And so we end up where you see these arrows, these south and southwesterly winds that continue to kind of direct warmer air from the south into our neighborhoods. And that's exactly what we are going to see, not just early in the week, but later on in the week as well. But not only do these winds out of the south and the west, do they bring in warmer air, they often bring in moisture, and that's what we're going to see here as well as we transition from sunshine for tomorrow to clouds, and then to clouds and what looks like going to be a pretty wet end to this upcoming week. So here is Tuesday afternoon. You can see that the clouds are already moving in. So we'll have Monday and part of Tuesday with some sunny skies, and I'm not expecting a whole lot of sun after that, or at least if we do get some, it's going to be pretty intermittent. Then as we head into Wednesday night, this is midnight Thursday, you see the wet weather coming in over on the west side, and it just barrels in here as we head through lunchtime on Thursday. Thursday looks like a pretty wet day. Friday looks like a showery one, and we'll be tracking wet weather through the weekend. Those will be warmer temperatures. Our snow levels will be about 7,000 feet. But tomorrow, you basically have to keep your jacket and coat and hat and all that winter gear on, at least for the start of the day. You'll notice the warmer temperatures by the time we get to the afternoon. So here's another look at some of our low temperatures for the overnight. And then here are our highs for the afternoon. Yeah, even some 50s in places like Kellogg and St. Mary's. Lewiston gets up to 54. We're not going to be quite there yet in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, although we may get to 50 degrees briefly in some of our warm spots around the metro, like Spokane Valley. We will be in that upper 40s, low 50s range then for the rest of this week. We'll be moving kind of up and down here with the fluctuation of the clouds, and then the rain that's going to stick with us through the weekend and maybe even beyond.
All right, Matt, thank you for that. One community on the shores of Lake Pend Oreille has become known for its homes on the water. The community has been a staple of Bellevue for more than a century. In this week's Air 4 Adventure, we see what makes living in a floating home so special.
Welcome to Bayview, Idaho. It's amazing. You get to wake up to the sunrise and go to sleep with the sunset. It's gorgeous. Fall is my favorite. I do love it when the season starts to change. Leaves are beautiful, the crisp air. I mean, summer's beautiful too, but yeah, I love fall's my favorite. It's a floating bar and grill on Lake Pend Oreille right next to the boat launch. It caught my eye years ago, and we have a float home nearby that we live on, and so it's a beautiful place to be for sure. We're lucky every day to work here and live here. It's definitely stable. Everyone asks that. They say, you know, do you rock? You know, no, it's stable. I guess it depends on where you're at, you know, but it's just like a home on the lake. Yeah, you don't move around that much unless a boat comes zooming by, but they shouldn't be. But the lake drops, as you can see, and so the kokanee spawn and the eagles. It's so cool. We sit on our deck and just watch the eagles swoop down and eat their meal. It's gorgeous. Yeah, a lot of people come down here to eagle watch, and we can just sit on our patio and watch it ourselves. It's great. Close-knit, community. Everybody knows each other, and how's it going, John? Did you get your boat fixed? I love that small feel. It's just different and beautiful, and just a little piece of heaven.
Police in Washington state are trying to find a driver that they say was responsible for a deadly crash nearly a month ago in Bellevue, about 10 miles east of Seattle. Investigators have received information that the driver left the country and is now in China. Julie Calhoun has the story.
Signs of a deadly crash in Bellevue remain nearly a month later. But Bellevue police say the woman charged fled across the globe to her native China. Police and prosecutors doing everything they can to move the case forward.
I'm certain that prosecutors won't forget about this individual case, and Bellevue police won't either.
Court documents show early morning September 30th, 26-year-old Ting Ye was driving Yabao Lu in her Porsche going more than 90 miles per hour when she crashed near SR 520. First responders report smelling alcohol on her breath. Liu died on scene. Was hurt and taken to Harborview Medical Center.
Well, for prosecutors, the details don't change. We believe that there's the evidence to prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt, and regardless of where a defendant may be, that doesn't change.
Bellevue police say Ye was discharged from the hospital on October 6th. The hospital did not notify police, but notes they're not required to. Police say someone then helped her cross over the Canadian border, where she got on a plane to China. The person who helped her could face consequences. A few days after she got out of the hospital, King County prosecutors charged her with vehicular homicide and a bail set at $2 million.
There was an arraignment in mid-October, and she didn't show up. And so at that point, prosecutors had the option to ask the court for a warrant, which we did right away. And so now there's an active warrant in the case.
There is no U.S. extradition treaty with China, but the nationwide warrant means if she tries to come back in the U.S., it will be flagged.
When there's a defendant with a warrant, speaking generally, this is not something that expires with time or that is just forgotten about. This is something that will stick.
In Bellevue, Julie Calhoun, King 5 News.
Coming up in sports, the Seattle Seahawks.
Download the KXLY Plus app for breaking news.
It's time for 4 News Now's Coats for Kids. Just drop off new or gently used coats at any of our sponsored locations. We'll bring them to Alsco for professional cleaning, then get them out to local children in need. Donate to Coats for Kids through October 31st.
Your locally owned Papa Murphy's is proud to be part of Coats for Kids this year.
Now through the end of October, bring in a coat donation to any Eastern Washington or North Idaho Papa Murphy's location.
And receive a $4 off coupon good for any large or family-sized pizza.
It's time to gear up for fall with Pape Machinery. With our limited time cash discounts, you can get a new John Deere 3025E for only $23,500. Add any of our hundreds of implement offerings and make quick work of your upcoming projects. Don't wait. Contact your local Pape Machinery Ag and Turf store today. Inventory at this price won't last long. Pape keeps you moving.
My dry eyes made me a burning, stinging 5 times a day.
Makeup smearing, drops user.
I want another option. That's not another drop.
Tyrvaya. It's not another drop. It's the first and only nasal spray for dry eye. Tyrvaya treats the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease fast by helping your body produce its own real tears. Common side effects include sneezing, cough, and throat and nose irritation.
Relying only on drops? Not me. My own real tears are my relief.
Ask your eye doctor about Tyrvaya.
My dry eyes made me a burning, stinging 5 times a day.
Makeup smearing, drops user.
I want another option. That's not another drop.
Tyrvaya. It's not another drop. It's the first and only nasal spray for dry eye. Tyrvaya treats the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease fast by helping your body produce its own real tears. Common side effects include sneezing, cough, and throat and nose irritation.
Relying only on drops? Not me. My own real tears are my relief.
Ask your eye doctor about Tearvia.
There is a place where magic seems to hide around every corner, where cherished memories are born in twinkling snowflakes, where enchanting adventures await all who explore. Where is this real-life winter wonderland? Nestled by the lake is Coeur d'Alene's Holiday Light Show, an experience you will never forget. Discover Santa's all-new North Pole with holiday getaways starting at only $250.
A day that was long anticipated by Seattle fans as the Seahawks turned back the clocks to don the classic blue and silver looks. Of course, when you look good, you feel good, so naturally that's going to equal a win against Cleveland this afternoon, right? Well, not so easy. In the first quarter,
I thought DK, I mean, what about his block, right? Like, he gets an assist on that play for just a great block, and then Jackson finishing it off in the end zone. You know, big for him, big for the team. It's great to pull that win out.
We work a lot, you know, in being in those situations, and for us to go out there with 2 minutes left, you know, it felt like, you know, we've done it before, and you know, credit to the O-line, doing an amazing job. Gino doing an amazing job.
Now, Seattle's going to have one tough one next week. They're going to travel out to Baltimore to take on the first-place Ravens. Now, I guarantee you no one is happier to leave the month of October behind more than the Washington State Cougars. They haven't won a game in 30-plus days, and their chances of making a bowl game really look bleak right now. This weekend was supposed to be the get-right game against Arizona State, one of the worst offenses in FBS, but it was anything but that for the defense in the team's 38-27 loss. The Sun Devils couldn't be stopped at all during any point in the game as they put up more than 500 yards of offense, 8 of 11 on third down conversions, and did not commit a single turnover. And what was once viewed as the Cougs' strength has now become the Achilles heel as we're going to limp to the finish line.
But at the end of the day, like, my job is to put our guys in the best situation to win a game. Okay, I obviously did not do that on the defensive side of the ball. To go out there, we're better in that personnel-wise. We are. You know, we are. And I believe it. I believe in our coaches. I believe that we got to get it corrected, but it's got to be faster. We got to get our guys answers, and we got to fly around and knock the run down.
Now, across the border in the Gem State, it was a much happier evening as the Idaho Vandals knocked off the second-ranked Montana State Bobcats to get their biggest win in the Jason Eck era so far. Now, despite no turnovers in the game on either side, Idaho controlled the clock for more than 41 minutes, and that allowed the Vandals to keep that high-powered Bobcats offense under control, allowing just 319 yards all day long. But even when it looked like the Vandals had this one wrapped up at 10-0 at the half, Eck said it was not an easy job finishing.
And then I knew they'd punch back. You know, great teams aren't going to lay down when you get a lead on them, and they certainly did. They did a great job of responding. And then the mental toughness our teams showed, you know, when they took the lead on us to come back and not be like, well, here we go again. You know, this team's great. They're going to come back. I just can't say enough about them. So very, very proud of our guys. It was a very gutsy effort against a team who's a great team. That team's going to go far in the playoffs.
Now, with just 3 games left in the regular season, there is a 3-way tie atop the Big Sky standings. Of course, Montana State still have to play, so something's going to give there. And Idaho may have the easiest path forward. Their remaining opponents are just 6 and 18. 4 News Now. We'll be right back.
Download the KXLY Plus app for live updates all day.
4 News Now is brought to you by Everhart Painting.
When Carl's Jr. plays with fire and charbroiled beef, things get pepper jack hot, Southwest smoky, and a little spicy. That's a lot of flavor. The Char Chili Combo with fries and a drink for just $7.99.
What you're seeing today is Zoe Hoker creating more career opportunities for himself as a welder. And the time he invested in virtual training through Forge FX to make it happen. Addressing the shortage of skilled workers in today's industries by providing access to additional training and career growth. These are the ways skilled trade professionals at Tulsa Welding School are using the metaverse today.
Discover fall in Coeur d'Alene. Experience the hidden treasure of autumn in our serene lakeside town. As the lively energy of summer subsides, the town embraces the tranquility of fall. Guests can unwind and find solace by the glistening lake. See for yourself why fall is Coeur d'Alene's best-kept secret. Book your fall foliage lake cruise overnight package now and make memories that will warm your heart for years to come.
The most important issue in this mayor's race? Crime and public safety. I'm Nadine Woodward. We cannot let Spokane become Seattle. It's why I increased police patrols, opened new precincts, and got dangerous offenders off the streets with our Violent Crimes Task Force. My opponent? She's helped fund criminals and is supported by anti-police activists. I'm proud to be endorsed by law enforcement. I'm Nadine Woodward, and I approve this message. Let's make crime illegal again.
My name is Jennifer, and this is my Summit Cancer Center story. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in November of 2015. Getting a cancer diagnosis is literally like having the rug pulled out from underneath you. When I'm at Summit Cancer Centers, I feel like they're kind of part of my family in a sense. They've always had my best interests in mind, so I'm actually very hopeful for the future. I would recommend Summit Cancer Center.
Carl's Jr. plays with fire and charbroiled beef, things get pepper jack hot, Southwest smoky, and a little spicy. That's a lot of flavor. The Char Chili Combo with fries and a drink for just $7.99.
And here is your forecast that looks a little bit more like fall without the 20s temperatures and the, I mean, snow is a part of fall, but maybe not quite this early in the year. So Halloween's looking good. Definitely probably want to have an extra layer for the kiddos.
That's probably some good advice, Matt. Thank you. And hey, this time of year, a lot of people into their thrills. A lot of people like to be scared. Alex, are you one of those guys?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, if the mood's right. Well, the reason some people think fear is fun. Take a look at this new study from the UW Medicine. The fight, flight, or freeze reflex exists in the same part of our brain as love and happiness. So essentially, we're chasing a chemical high when we walk through haunted attractions or watch a movie. So a healthy sense of fear is part of our genetics. It's a way we protect ourselves.
So I like a good haunted house.
There you go.
Have you ever been to Scary One?
No, is there still time? I hope so.
Maybe.
I would love to go. Matt?
Nope.
You and me.
Not doing any of it.
You and me. We'll do it together.
Nope.
Download the KXLY Plus app for weather every 10 minutes. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.